The D, man.
Yeah, shout out my nigga from D's Media, you feel me?
Yo, it's your boy D's Media back again with another video. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel on the road to 100K. Today we're going to talk about it marks a year since Lil Scoom passed away. His ex-girlfriend, friends, loved ones, business managers, everybody, man, posted dude. Let's jump straight into it. My condolences go out to Turtle, his moms, anybody that was affected by this loss. You know, it's sad as ever to have to bury a child that young. I understand that. The one thing I feel like Lil Scoom89 messed up, and it's the same thing that Jeff did. Y'all dudes had a buzz, y'all had motion, and y'all had a businessman, y'all had your manager, and y'all had other members out there that stayed in California that asserted y'all and wanted y'all to stay there. When I found that out, that AMFK and a lot of dudes around Lil Bibby and them was inserting for Lil Jeff and Lil Scoom to stay out there. You know what I'm saying? That goes to show you, man, that if you want something out of your life, you have to change. You think Chief Keef would be where he at right now if he would have stayed in O Block and never left? You think Lil Durk would have been where he was at before he got locked up if he never left Dog Pound or Lamron? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think LeBron James would have been what he is today if he never would have left Akron? So it's like you got to leave your city to better yourself. You can come back, but I feel like what caused Jeff and Lil Scoom not to be here today was they got that bread from that deal that they signed, and they want to go back to the city and flaunt that cash. That's the only thing I get out of this. The same thing Big Op just did. Big Op just signed a deal in California, and not even 3 days later, he was back in Chicago flaunting his new chain, his money, is all of that. So it's like, y'all dudes want to make it out just to go back and show people that you got it. That's backwards. That's backwards. And look what happened soon as dude go there. Got around the wrong people. Allegedly, his low got dropped. All type of weird stuff. But he had no business being in Chicago once he signed that deal with AMFK, and he was working on pretty much building his buzz, his momentum, his fan base, his music catalog. He should have stayed. He should have stayed in California, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you. Look how Q50 planned this situation. When you see Q50 go live, you're going to see him in Houston. You're going to see him in Atlanta. You're going to see him in Cali. You're going to see him everywhere but Chicago. And that's what Scoom and Jeff should have been doing. Y'all was supposed to be playing out of town. It's nowhere in the world y'all signed a deal and y'all want to go back to Chicago. And I know what that is. They wanted to ball. They wanted to stun on people. They wanted to, look out for their loved ones. All of that stuff that could have waited. I just felt like, man, you got to want better for yourself. If you look at it a year later, there's been no justice for dude. A lot of people say he say, she say stuff, but at the end of the day, it ain't been arrest yet. But I could just only imagine, man, how his mother felt yesterday. A year went past fast, I will say that. But I could just only imagine, that day, man, tore his mom's apart because that's her baby, man. We look at these dudes like gang members and rappers and everything, but she look at that same innocent little boy that she gave birth to. But when y'all playing in these streets, or y'all got an opportunity to get out of these streets and you refusing to listen to people, you want to be hard-headed, you think that you know the streets, you think that you know how this junk go, a lot of times, man, those the main ones that get spanked. And like I say, Jeff and Lil Scoom is grown men. You could tell them to stay in California. You could tell them to chill. You could tell them not to do this and not to do that. They grown men. They made their own decision. But my personal opinion, I felt like Lil Scoom and Real Vert was the real rappers. Jeff and Q50, whatever y'all want to call them dudes, it is what it is. Y'all can call them a stepper. Y'all can call them John Gotti, whatever. The real rappers, from my point of perspective, was Vert and Lil Scoom. Them dudes was going to blow up and rapping regardless, man. Shorty, them two dudes can really rap. The other two dudes is just knuckleheads. But far as Scoom and Vert, them two dudes is real rappers, man. Real rappers, man. And as sad as ever, man, that Lil Scoom ain't here, man. As big as these dudes is getting, he played a major part in it. But once again, if dude would have stayed in California, I think dude would still be alive to today. So that's just my take on it. Like I said, man, I wish his brother Turtle, his mom's loved ones, everybody the best. I know yesterday was a hard day. You had to relive what just happened a year ago. But let this be a life lesson to the shorties out there, man. Sometimes when you get that break and you gone, you get up out of here, sometimes, bro, gotta stay gone, man, or at least do it the right way. But all of that, trying to get your bread and pop it on dudes and pull back up to the city and flaunt and do all that, it ain't worth it, man. It just ain't worth it. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all so much.
The D, man. Yeah, shout out my nigga from D's Media, you feel me?